And they sell all kinds of stuff on there, but they also sell a bunch of land. So you can kind of monitor them, see what they're selling for. They do like an auction almost every week, and there's always a bunch of land in there. There is Bid for Assets. And there's other land sellers like Billy Land, I mentioned there, that sells land in all kinds of different states. And then if you kind of focus generally on a state, and you say like, well, I'm just going to go after Indiana, then just put in Indiana land for sale, Indiana land, cheap land for sale, Indiana no qualifying. Just put in a few words in there, and then these land sellers, if there's any, will pop out. And then you can just monitor them a little bit. You can just check them out a little bit and see what they have for sale, what the prices are for sale, how fast they're selling them when they're disappearing on their webpage. And that'll, if you do a few of those things, it should only take you a few days, I'd say, and I'm meaning a few minutes a day over a course of a few days to figure out if an area is an area where actually sales are happening. Sometimes there's like pocket players. There's little pocket players that there's one area in Colorado that there's one guy who just sells properties in that subdivision. That's it. He only sells about 10 or 15 properties a year there, but he makes about $10,000 a property, so he makes 100 grand. Well, I guess he's happy with that, to live with that. That's fine. So he just sells that. Well, let me ask you, who would be happy with an extra 100 grand just on one county? Right? Yes, so that's the deal here. So he just does that. So is he a good resource to kind of monitor? Yes, it would be a great resource to check out and so on. And so you find people all over the place in the internet by just doing a few quick Google searches. And the thinking behind that is very, very simple. It's really that I truly believe that if there's no competition whatsoever, when you start out, let me rephrase that, actually the other way around. When you start out, you want to go into an area where there's a little bit of competition, where there's a little, not competition, activity, let's call it activity. A little bit of activity. Because if there's no activity, there is a risk, and I'm not saying that that it will happen, but there is a risk that there's no demand.